Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and Blizzard has revealed us everything that we'll be getting in patch 9.1. I made a video talking before about the leaks of potentially what could be 9.1, but now we have a confirmation video with everything that was revealed during BlizzCon, and I kind of want to cover a lot more of this since there has been a little bit extra information. This is everything we have for 9.1, but remember 9.1 is not complete. There's a lot more information for 9.02, but 9.1 still remains to be a lot of it unknown, primarily having to do with the covenants and the system and how that's going to advance forwards, or some of the things that they'll be doing for class changes. But for some of the content, cosmetics, and mounts, we have a lot more information and backstory for it all. So let's take a look at everything that was revealed at BlizzCon today. 9.1 is going to contain some of the basics, like more story for each one of the covenants, and more progression towards some of the events. You might have seen the cinematic with Anduin recently. The jailer is trying to collect some kind of keys in order to unlock some kind of extra powers, and we are going to be trying to stop the jailer as well as explore more of the Maw and what it has to do. But we'll be doing majority of that through the main story, and I expect that every single one of the covenants will play a different part and explore different stories, so there will be even more reasons for you to have alts inside of different covenants for this patch. One of the biggest announcements of 9.1 is going to be how you move around in the Maw. Unless you possess one of the special mounts that are mountable in the Maw, like the Corridor Creeper from Twisted Corridors Layer 8, none of your other mounts can be used inside of the Maw. In 9.1, this will be changing, and Blizzard will give players the ability, again, to start using their mounts normally, like you would in other zones. You will now be able to also use them in the Maw. However, I don't think as soon as 9.1 launches, Blizzard is just going to flip a switch and then you can mount in the Maw normally. I think they will attach a storyline that explains as to why the Champion of Azeroth is able to mount in the Maw, so you'll probably have to do one small quest inside of the Maw and then you're good to go. You will definitely need that mount because not only are you going to be exploring the Maw, but also the new zone of Korthia, which conveniently is going to be attached with massive chains to the Maw. The jailer has attached, or I guess pulled, this plane towards the Maw for various reasons. Korthia is supposed to be this unexplored land with a lot of mysteries, strange new alien-looking wildlife, as well as secrets of the first ones, whatever that may be. The Maw itself is also going to have a lot more rewards. We have brand new Maw mounts like a skeletal horse, as well as a hand. Yes, that is a hand with a saddle on it. You have pets, a variety of different pets, so a lot more things to do in the Maw, and most likely Blizzard is going to do probably revamps to some of the activities inside of the Maw. It's hard to tell if this is just rewards from the Maw or the Maw Korthia. If Korthia will be part of the Maw or a separate zone, I guess we'll find that out at later time when Blizzard reveals more information, because we have limited stuff to talk about with 9.1. Since we are exploring the Maw, we'll also delve into the Maw Raid, which will be a 10 boss raid with some of the different bosses like the Taragru. So if you ever got slapped down by that mean old boy inside of Torghast, you'll be able to take revenge on him. We'll be able to find out what the Eye of the Jailer is, and Blizzard even made a hint that it could be something that has to do with Odin from Legion. Kel'Thuzad is a boss, as well as Sylvanas as the final boss of that raid. They also mentioned there will be new enemies inside of Torghast, new traps, new animal powers, but they didn't go into specifics of what new we'll get with Torghast. Now that we talked about the Maw, the Torghast, the Jailer, let's talk about other things we'll be able to enjoy, like a new Mega Dungeon. This Mega Dungeon is going to be very similar to the Carousel of Legion or the BFA Mechagon. It's going to be a broker Mega Dungeon. It's going to be a little bit different. It'll explore the brokers. The brokers being not really a character that's evil, but not also good. They're kind of just in the middle and have their own plans. And in Shadowlands, they're especially mysterious because we know very little about them. In a sense, they're kind of like the ethereals of Shadowlands, and we know little about ethereals, so we know even less about these guys, which makes them even more interesting. Something tells me this dungeon is definitely going to be a lot unique and very unexpected. Like they explained that the last 4 bosses of the dungeon is actually going to be part of a big heist, and one of the bosses we can fight is a pirate dragon. I guess expect the unexpected with this dungeon. Anything can happen, and we will not know much about it until Blizzard reveals more info. But there are some interesting rewards, like pets, as well as a mount, which reminds you of the Legion disc that mages have gotten for the Covenant mount, as well as weapon transmogs. All those actually look really cool, and I cannot wait to see what more information we'll be able to get from this new Mega Dungeon. For finishing the Covenant campaign, we also will get Covenant-specific mounts. These are going to be very similar to the Legion class Order Hall mounts. For For the Kyrian, we have these griffin owl things that are of mechanical nature. It looks like all the mounts will also come in a variety of different colors. For the Night Fae, it's something different. This is like a wolf spirit dragon thing. It definitely looks really unique, and I wonder where the inspiration came from. The only flying mount that can survive the Waste of Maldraxxus is a fly, so that is going to be your flying mount. And the Venthyr got something that I'm super satisfied with. Massive stone gargoyle looking thing. I mean, it looks fantastic. Let me know in the comments which mount do you think is your favorite. We also got Covenant Cosmetic armor. So each one of the Covenant Cosmetic armors can be worn by any player from any armor type. It's a cosmetic that you can put on your character, so while it might look like a clothy robe or maybe some leather barding, it can be used by plate, cloth, mail, and leather. And all of them are themed in specific ways for each covenant. The Kyrian makes me think of the ancient Greeks, and I guess in a sense the Kyrians are kind of modeled by the ancient Greeks, but you have things like sandals, straps, like really short shorts. I mean, to me it says Mountains of Olympus and maybe even a Hercules-like look. It's definitely a very interesting looking piece, definitely will look good on Blood-Oaths, but I wonder what that would look like on Tauren. The Night Fae get this roguish huntsman set, has multiple colors and has some features like a mask of one of the stags with a bunch of leaves and trees and pouches, and has more of this light leather look to it. I do like this a lot better than the leather set for the Night Fae. I think it looks too druidic, but this one does have some roguish elements to it. For Necrolord, they wanted to go with a Warcraft 3 Necromancer, and you have the massive cowl and then a big old thing in behind your robe and a cloak and a mask and horns and a dagger and a belt. It actually does look kind of good for this Necromancer look. I wonder if Blizzard is trying to tease us with a potential Necromancer class in future expansions. For the Venthyr, they decided to go with more party attire, kind of like how some of the nobles would dress when it comes to them going to the Venthyr parties. And you'll be able to wear that same set of gear, whether it is the dresses or if it is the more formal attire with some metal bits and armor pieces, like the suit jacket and has a Venthyr necklace and everything. I really do like the formal look that Venthyr get. Blizzard also talked a bit about Season 2 stuff, like adding a recolor for the KSM mount as well as the Gladiator mount, as well as the new Vicious mount, which is going to be an armored Gorm. Blizzard also talked about there's going to be more stuff for 9.1 that they want to do, but they didn't go into detail. They mentioned soulbinds, for example, and they said they want to go and have an in-depth discussion with the community to add more conduits, as in more types of conduits. So right now we have potency, endurance, finesse, so they're thinking of adding more types of conduits, different conduits, changing them up, changing out the honor talents as well for a variety of different classes, which will be really good for PvP to shake up the meta. And I would love for them to remove some of the honor talents that nobody ever uses for all the different specs and replace them with something more interesting, more unique, something maybe that fills the gaps where certain specs would, let's say, lack. Let's say Survival Hunter lacks something that a Marksman Hunter offers. You can make it as an honor talent for Survival Hunter to take in order to even out the gameplay. But there's still a lot more unknown, and I think right now Blizzard is focusing on getting 9.05 out ASAP, trying to make sure it's in functional state and with all the different changes, because it's already bringing in a heap of changes as is. And after 9.05 is here, then move on to the details of 9.1 and how the systems we have with right now, the Covenant systems, the classes, the legendaries, how all that is constructed together and how that moves forward with the future patch. But that's going to be everything we have so far. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I'll make sure to make an updated video if we get anything more for 9.1. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this patch 9.1, which feature is your most favorite and the one you're most excited for. Let me know which mods are your favorite and the mounts from the different covenants. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.